This dress is probably better suited for a bedtime routine video, but I just really like the moons and the stars. Hello wonderful humans, welcome back to the Bliss Bean. Before we start, I just want to let you know that I put together a worksheet that goes with this video. It's like a build your own morning routine worksheet. I've been really into making these kinds of worksheets lately, so if you want to download that, the link to that is in the description. I know I've talked about a lot of routines on this blog, a lot of habits, so it's probably not very convincing when I'm like, no, this is the most important routine, this is the one. But seriously, my morning routine, I can't remember the last time that I skipped it because I cannot start my day without it. And here's why. Number one, it wakes me up. I don't want to spoil too much of the routine, but part of it involves cold water and another part of it involves exercise. I just gave away 2 steps, but whatever. As someone who is enemies with the snooze button, these 2 steps really help me to feel alert and energized, no matter how little sleep I got or how dark it might be outside. Reason number 2 is it keeps me calm. If I were to put together like an anti-morning routine, it would go something like picking up my phone first thing in the morning, reading all those scary news headlines, then going on my email to see all of the urgent tasks that await, then going on Instagram to worry about the number of likes that I got and feel bad about myself. This would all make me very anxious, very stressed, and not a zen morning mood at all. But my actual non-anti-morning routine, my anti-morning routine, gives me a series of steps to follow that gives me a good 45-minute buffer between when I wake up and when I start to let the outside world in. Reason 3 is it jumpstarts my productivity. I believe that a lot of productivity is just building momentum and keeping it going, and that's exactly what my morning routine does. It's a little challenge that I can surmount in the morning. Not a huge one, it's not overwhelming, but there are definitely many steps of my morning routine that I really don't feel like doing every single morning, but after I do them, I feel accomplished. I feel like I can tackle anything else that is thrown my way that day. Finally, number 4 is it provides consistency, and this is an especially important one during this time. I don't have a regular class schedule, no weekly group exercise classes, no coffee dates with friends on the calendar. Everything is just empty. And so now, more than ever, I am desperately hanging on to the consistency that my morning routine provides. I know that the same thing is going to happen every single day at more or less the same time, and I can build the rest of my day around that. Okay, so without further ado, this is the actual routine that I do every single morning. This is the Bliss Bean approved morning routine for you. The first thing that happens is my alarm rings, and if I were a perfect person or a liar, I would tell you that I get out of bed as soon as it rings, but I am neither of those things. Especially now that I don't have anywhere to urgently be, no classes to be tardy for, I can very easily fall into this trap where I'm not even snoozing, I'm setting like tiny 2 or 3 minute timers to try and catch a few more winks of sleep, and then after doing that a few times, I forget to set another timer and I end up sleeping in an hour. But most mornings, I'll only do that for about 10 minutes and then I'll get out of bed, I swear. While I'm not as extreme as putting my phone on the other side of the room or anything like that, I did find that setting my alarm to a song rather than that god-awful default ringtone helped me to avoid snoozing. I only use one song. My song of choice is It's Only by Odessa featuring Zyra. I love all of their music, but I think this song is perfect, especially because it starts with like a little crackling sound and then it slowly gets louder so it doesn't startle me awake, and also I just love it so I enjoy listening to it. The night before, I will have put my phone on Do Not Disturb so that I don't see any notifications on my lock screen. When I pick up my phone, I resist the temptation to pull down the notification center, and all I do is I go to my time tracking app and I start the morning routine task. The bobby pins always fall out of my hair at night, so I grab those, my water bottle, my contact lens case, and I head downstairs. The first thing I do is I get a tablespoon of coconut oil and I put that in my mouth to swish around for a while. Supposedly this is good for oral health, that's why I started doing it, but honestly at this point my morning just doesn't feel the same without it, so that's why I keep doing it. I fill up my water bottle, which I aim to finish before breakfast, and then I go to the bathroom to put in my contacts. Back upstairs, still swishing, I grab my phone and my earbuds and I'll put on some music to do some stretching and weird dancing that I will spare you from in this video. Usually once I find some songs that work with my morning routine, I will just play those to death. So currently for the stretching, I listen to On by BTS because it just gets me really hyped up, and then Ego by J-Hope for my morning exercises, which is 60 elbow to knee touches, 12 side steps or whatever you would call those, 30 hip dips, and 30 crunches. A little bit of lying on the floor, and then I gather my phone and my clothes, I always just wear like sweatpants and t-shirts around the house. I never wear stuff like this. This is literally my prom dress from senior year. So changing into those clothes is not a huge step up for my pajamas, but it's something. I spit the oil out in my trash can because it will clog your plumbing if you spit it out in the sink. Remember that, okay? I go to the bathroom and wash my face first with an oil-based cleanser and then a regular one, and then time for the cold shower. How bad this is depends on the shower's mood that day. Sometimes it gets icy, sometimes it won't get more than just like a refreshingly cool temperature, but I try to set it as cold as it can go. I put on some music to distract me. Lately I've been using, oh look, another BTS song. This one is My Time, which is also from their newest album. I didn't realize how much of this video would center around music. This is the 4th song that I'm highlighting, but again, it's all about consistency. So these songs, because they're the same songs every single day, they're just like little anchors in my morning. So I set the stopwatch. Once it hits 5 seconds, I step into the water, turn around a few times until it reaches 35, and then I can get out. This is definitely not a very pleasant habit, but stepping out of the shower feels so nice, and then putting on some nice warm socks is so cozy. The basic science behind this is that a hot shower is great at night because when you step out, your body temperature goes from high to low, and that mimics your body's natural drop in temperature when you're getting ready for sleep. Cold shower does the opposite, and it's a signal to your body that it's time to wake up. So then I get dressed, I put on deodorant, tone my face, and then it's time to go back to my room. I've had trouble finding a good use for my Google Home, so far, aside from listening to music, this is pretty much the only thing that I use it for. I'll say, okay Google, good morning.
Hi, Patrice. The time is 7:19 a.m.
Yeah, so she tells me the weather and some news stories for the day while I moisturize my face. I like this a lot because I was feeling a little disconnected from world events, but I wasn't sure how to incorporate that into my day. And so this is the perfect time to do it because I would spend time doing this anyways, so I might as well listen to something productive while I hydrate my skin. After that, I head to my desk and grab my journal. As I'm writing, I make sure to drink some water so that I can finish it before breakfast. I always label my entries with the date, the time, and my day of this cycle. I used to be super interested and still somewhat am in the concept of cycle syncing. That's where you really pay attention to how your menstrual cycle affects everything from your mood, energy, skin, sleep, productivity levels, how social you are, etc. And you try to adjust your life to work with that. There's so much interesting stuff out there on this topic, so I'll link some resources in the description if you want to delve into that. But yeah, I just like to keep an eye on what day it is so that I can prepare for the day kind of and understand what I'm going through better. In my journal, I just write about whatever's on my mind, maybe what I dreamt about, what I'm excited about, what I'm worried about. Your journal is definitely a good place to do some of that mindset work. So if there's something that I've just got negative energy surrounding, like back when I was doing a lot of photography, photo shoots would make me quite nervous that entire day. And so in my journal, I would consciously write about how confident I was for the photo shoot, how great it would go, how much I would love the resulting photos, how much I would click with the person I was taking photos of. It's all about faking it till you making it, because the stories you tell yourself are not just stories, they will eventually become your reality. Some food for thought. At the end of the entry, I will write down 3 things I'm excited about for the day. This gets my mind away from anything that I might be stressed about and focused on the good things, because there are always 3 things that you can name. A lot of times I'll write that I'm excited to eat breakfast. That is a very exciting thing for me. After that, I'll write down whatever affirmation I'm focusing on at the moment. So the one that I currently write is, I create meaningful and beautiful content. I make a difference in people's lives. After that, I grab my phone, but nope, no emails yet. For a little dose of thoughtfulness and intentionality before I get into the nitty-gritty of planning my day, I open up this app called Daily Haloha. I want to thank them for sponsoring today's video. The Daily Haloha is a free app that gives you a daily prompt where you fill in the blank to questions like, today I would like to send some love to blank. What I appreciate most about my community is blank. A moment in my life that I'd like to experience again is blank. You get the idea. It really reminds me as I'm doing my morning routine and just wanting to check my emails and get on with my day that there's more to life than just emails and productivity and doing stuff. There's a lot of power in a simple moment of reflection and connecting with others through sharing that experience. Once you answer, you send it out there into the internet and magically you get someone else's daily Haloha back and you get to react to their response, which is just a nice little way to make them feel heard. And then you can head over to this tab to see responses from people all over the world. So I'm really excited about this part. My friends at Daily Haloha actually let me write my own prompt, which is going live today. I can't show it to you in this video because I'm not a time traveler, but since this is a morning routine video, I went with the prompt, what sets me up for a great day is blank. So if you click the link in the description, you can download the app and contribute your answer. Tell me what the most essential part of your morning routine is. I'm so excited to see the entire wall of responses after today. So after I've had my little moment of mindfulness, I then move on to actually figuring out how I will spend my day. I start out by reading out loud these 2020 intentions that I wrote for myself back in January just to remind myself of how I want this year to go. Obviously this year has not gone like how any of us have imagined it, but we're doing our best. So the idea here is that I want to remind myself of how I want to live life on the grand scale before I zoom in to the micro scale and decide how I'll spend my day. After that, I'll let myself have a quick glance at my emails, not really responding to anything usually, just kind of getting an idea of what's going on, what do I need to do today. I open up my planning app. You guys know I'm a huge fan of To-Do. I have a whole video on how I use that, but I am also a huge fan of constantly evolving and trying new things. So this week I'm actually trying this new tool called Claro. It's still in the beta stage, so it's not available to the public, but I'll let you know what I think about it after I've tried it out for a couple of weeks. Since I do my weekly planning on Sundays, I usually have my to-do list pretty much set for the day. I just have to figure out what order I'm gonna work on things. I've been trying to divide my day into different chunks based on how I work best at different times of the day. So I'll do that in Google Calendar. I'll make headers in my planning app and then just sort those tasks underneath, so I literally have a step-by-step game plan that corresponds to my calendar. After that's all done, that's pretty much the end of the routine. After that, I'll go downstairs and I'll make myself a nice breakfast, and then I head back up to my room to start the daily grind. I hope you enjoyed seeing my morning routine. Maybe it gave you some ideas for things to incorporate into your own routine, but I also want to see your ideas. So I'll be checking the Daily Haloha app today, and I want to do like a little compilation of my favorite answers on Instagram stories. So be sure to contribute your answer. Please don't just say like coffee or something boring like that. Be creative. Again, there's a worksheet that goes along with this video with tons of ideas for your own morning routine that you can mix and match. If you want to download that and print it out, the link to that is in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye!